that ye shall be as gods, since I as man, internal man, is but proportion meet. I of brute, human, ye of human, gods. So ye shall die perhaps, by putting off human, to put on gods. Death to be wished, though threatened, which no worse than this can bring. And what are gods, that man may not become as they, participating godlike food? The gods are first, and that advantage use on our belief, that all from them proceeds. I question it, for this fair earth I see, warmed by the sun, producing every kind. Them nothing, if they all things, who enclose knowledge of good and evil in this tree, that whoso eats thereof, forthwith attains wisdom without their leave. And wherein lies the offence, that man should thus attain to know? What can your knowledge hurt him, or this tree impart against his will, if all be his? Or is it envy? And can envy dwell in heavenly breasts? These and many more causes import your need of this fair fruit. Goddess humane, reach then, and freely taste. He ended, and his words, replete with guile, into her heart too easy entrance won. Fixed on the fruit she gazed, which to behold might tempt alone, and in her ears the sound yet rung of his persuasive words, impregned with reason to her seeming, and with truth. Meanwhile the hour of noon drew on, and waked an eager appetite, raised by the smell so savory of that fruit, which with desire, inclinable now grown to touch or taste, solicited her longing eye. Yet first pausing a while, thus to herself she mused. Great are thy virtues, doubtless best of fruits, though kept from man, and worthy to be admired, whose taste, too long forborne, at first to say, gave elocution to the mute, and taught the tongue not made for speech to speak thy praise. Thy praise he also, who forbids thy use, conceals not from us, naming thee the tree of knowledge, knowledge both of good and evil, forbids us then to taste, but his forbidding commends thee more, while it infers the good by thee communicated, in our want. For good unknown sure is not had, or had and yet unknown, is as not had at all. In plain then, what forbids he but to know? Forbids us good, forbids us to be wise? Such prohibitions bind not. But if death bind us with after bands, what profits then our inward freedom? In the day we eat of this fair fruit, our doom is, we shall die. How dies the serpent? He hath eaten and lives, and knows, and speaks, and reasons, and discerns, irrational till then. For us alone was death invented, or to us denied this intellectual food, for beasts reserved? For beasts it seems, yet that one beast which first hath tasted, envies not, but brings with joy the good befallen him, author unsuspect, friendly to man, far from deceit or guile. What fear I then? Rather, what know to fear under this ignorance of good and evil, of God or death, of law or penalty? Here grows the cure of all, this fruit divine, fair to the eye, inviting to the taste, of virtue to make wise. What hinders then to reach and feed at once both body and mind? So saying, her rash hand an evil hour forth reaching to the fruit, she plucked, she eat. Earth felt the wound, and nature from her seat, sighing through all her works, gave signs of woe, that all was lost. Back to the thicket slunk the guilty serpent, and well might, for Eve, intent now wholly on her taste, naught else regarded, such delight till then as seemed in fruit she never tasted, whether true or fancied so, through expectation high of knowledge. Naught was Godhead from her thought. Greedily she engorged without restraint, and knew not eating death, satiate at length, and heightened as with wine, jocund and boon, thus to herself she pleasingly began. O sovereign, virtuous, precious of all trees in paradise, of operation blessed to sapience, hitherto obscured, infamed, in thy fair fruit let hang, as to no end created, but henceforth my early care, not without song, each morning, and due praise, shall tend thee, and the fertile burden ease of thy full branches offered free to all, till, dieted by thee, I grow mature in knowledge as the gods who all things know, though others envy what they cannot give. For had the gift been theirs, it had not here thus grown. Experience next to thee I owe, best guide. Not following thee I had remained in ignorance. Thou openest wisdom's way, and givest access, though secret she retire. And I perhaps am secret. Heaven is high, high and remote to see from thence distinct each thing on earth. And other care perhaps may have diverted from continual watch our great forbidder, safe with all his spies about him. But to Adam in what sort shall I appear? Shall I to him make known as yet my change, and give him to partake full happiness with me? Or rather not, but keeps the odds of knowledge in my power without co-partner? So to add what wants in female sex, the more to draw his love, and render me more equal, and perhaps a thing not undesirable, sometimes superior, for inferior, who is free, this may be well. But what if God have seen, and death ensue? Then I shall be no more. And Adam wedded to another Eve, shall live with her enjoying, I extinct, a death to think. Confirmed then I resolve, Adam shall share with me in bliss or woe. So dear I love him, that with him all deaths I could endure, without him live no life.